Good evening, everybody. Wow, we're already nearly in the middle of February, and we're moving through this little booklet of ours quite fast, and it's getting very interesting, and we are digging down to bedrock, as they say. I'm going to be sharing my screen, so just bear with me here. Here we go. So we are on chapter 5 of the book, napkin presentation number 4, digging down to bedrock. I'm going to repeat what we repeat every week. Let me just get this. When you subtract out the sleeping time, commuting time, working time, and time for things you have to do each and every day of your life, almost all people don't have more than 1 or 2 hours each day to do what they like to do. And if they had the time, would they have the money to do it? We have discovered a way for you to learn how to own your life by building a home-based business. And we have a system for doing it that is so simple that anyone can do it. It doesn't require selling. And the best part is it won't take much of your time. So let's continue. Discouragement is one of the problems that can beset a new distributor that you have sponsored. If you fail to impress upon them the importance of getting a head start, that is why we stress that they do not start counting their months in the business until they've actually had their training month or their training period of whatever length of time they need. When they first get into a network marketing organization, they may have a tendency without a head start to look up at the leaders way out in front and become discouraged. And they think they will never, ever be able to catch up to those leaders that are so far ahead and have got so many PV and doing so much that how can they catch up? So let's look at this funny little picture. Note the arrows showing a runner trying to catch up to the crowd and the runner going even faster ahead of the crowd, trying to stay ahead of the others. Remember when you were in physical ed in school and were running your laps? People will run faster to stay ahead of a crowd than to actually catch up to it. Since there's no finish line in this race, you all can be winners. The only losers are the quitters. However, to run a good race, one should train for it. When you sponsor someone, having considered the first 2 to 6 weeks in the business, their training time, their period, their month. The next month will be their starting month. Everything they read or listen to, meetings they attend with their sponsor and others, the products they try, the products they move, are all part of training. All this training is giving them a head start on their starting month in the business, which is next month. When next month comes, if they're not yet ready to get serious about the program, consider that they are still in their training month. So that training month could be one week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. It's still their training month. Don't have them start counting their months until they are ready to get serious. That way, when they finally do get serious, they will be warmed up for the race and they can get off to a head start and therefore a faster race. One of the major benefits of all these napkin presentations is that as you share them with your new distributors and prospects and have training programs, they have a tendency to become self-motivated. Every time we show the 2 times 2 is 4 presentation, we ourselves get all excited again about the possibility of network marketing. Have you ever shown this program and said, oh wow, like when I first saw this, read this book again, it suddenly went ka-ching. You look at those circles. You look at the 2 times 2 and it suddenly penetrates. You've been in the business for 10 years and suddenly it penetrates. Wow, so simple, so easy, but so deep. So we ourselves get excited again every time we show this possibility of the network marketing. Once you read and study and understand what we are going to show you in the following pages, the following presentations, you will be motivated and encouraged every time you see a new high-rise building under construction. Notice that when construction begins, it seems like it takes months and months and months, almost forever, before you see it begin to rise out the ground. But once it gets above ground level, it seems to rise about 1 floor per week. It goes up fast. Have you ever watched one of those construction buildings going up? So picture that tall office building as your own organization, as it will be someday, and ponder what you will have to do to get it. When you first began to sponsor those 5 serious people, you were digging the foundation with a shovel or a little spade. But notice that when you start to dig down into the second level by teaching your people to sponsor, that's 25 people now, you have to bring in the bulldozer. So now you're going a little bit deeper, a little bit faster, a little bit more heavier. When you taught your people how to teach the people in their group to sponsor, you are well on your way to bedrock. And you are now beginning to excavate with a hydraulic excavator. When you have begun to see the 125th, when you begin to see the 3rd level of people, the 125, you have reached bedrock. Now, seeing that you're on bedrock, now you start going up. When you are down 4 deep in your organization, it means you are now starting to become visible. And your building will rise up quite rapidly. So if you've been in the business for several months and don't see anything happening, don't get discouraged. It's just the foundation is still under construction. And if that foundation is not built correctly and you're not constructing it properly, you're not going to be able to build that construction building very high. It's sort of like the gold prospector who spent months and months and months digging a mine, only to give up and quit when he was just 6 inches away from a main vein. So we are not quitters. Above is an illustration of what the foundation of the person that sponsors 130 will look like. Notice that they haven't reached bedrock, even if they've each sponsored 5 product users or wholesale buyers and had a group of 780. Without a solid foundation, sitting on bedrock, the building can't get too tall or it will crumble. Relating this back to taking the trip to Brisbane, remember a couple of weeks ago, the person who sponsored 130 was in first gear too many times. If they all sponsored 5, he would never get out of second gear. He would never get out of his driveway. Learn these napkin presentations and use them. Keep sending them to people. Keep talking to them. Send them the introduction. Send them the 4 chapters. Keep sending them. Keep reading them yourself. And you won't get stuck in second gear. Build your foundation deep, right down to bedrock, and then you will reach your high gear. So it's just a case of reading and reading and reading. I keep sending it to my people and say, read it again, because some of us were very stubborn to read this booklet and to understand it, and to understand the 622 plan, and to understand why we have to have that vision, why we have to teach our people to do what the people at the top have done all the time. So just keep teaching them, keep telling them about level 1, level 2, keep teaching them about the 5 most serious people. You're going to have to sponsor lots of folks to find those 5 serious people. But when you find them, work on them and get them to each sponsor 5 serious people, or look for their 5 serious people. People get despondent very fast. Just keep encouraging and keep working with your team. And soon you'll be rising high on that building, right up to the top. Thank you. That is the end of my talk. Sean, please stop recording.